part of it. It's gotta be, I can feel it. It's like an element. When you can feel it, then you know, then you get a feeling, and you're like, fuck, that's what's happening right now. And I got a feeling that something is happening, and it's not anything else that's happening. It's definitely gonna happen, one way or another. I just passed the church, which is interesting. There are things that we can do to see, feel, whatever. And it's good. Don't think of the church. Just think of it as time away from your life. If you're not like a God person, just think of it as time away from your life. In a way that it's just kind of like, okay, this is just away from my life. And if you think of it as time away from your life, then you'll be away from your life. You have to think of God, especially when there's people who don't like or believe in religion because of their own shit they put on themselves, because they're already guilty people for just being alive or whatever you want to say. And that kind of guilt and that kind of stuff, that's just shitty. That sucks. That kind of life sucks. That's why, it's not the religion. It's never the religion. It's the things that are inside of that, what are contained inside of that. And now's the time to go to church and separate yourself from everything. Everything. If you could go to church, in a church that you don't even really want to be in, and have that time to understand that part of your life, that everything is or has certain kinds of property value to you as a person, and your time away from life is super important. So church is a symbol of an idea that everyone's going to say, okay, he needs to go to that symbol or that idea or whatever. And there's no flack, and there's no nothing, and there's no connotations. The hardest part is the negative connotations that we're going to feel just being in church if you're not a church goer, or if you don't like church. You don't like religion. Because I hate religion. I think religion is absolute garbage. Because you get people, the only one that kind of works is Buddhism. But for them, I think it was more I don't want to even do Buddhism. So yeah, I know. So if you don't believe in that, then Buddhism believe in that, because you don't believe in you. And that's why that's kind of great. It's kind of well, if I fuck up, I can still figure out, if I'm sorry, really sorry in my life about things enough, then I can fucking figure out how to figure out my life that way. And that's kind of the point. But religion in general is just it's being shown something shittily by someone if you don't like religion. If you do like religion, then, then you're where you are, and you're like, that's cool, that's what I do already, Or, hey, I go to this temple, and this guy believes in, fucking Captain Crunch. It's got 9 arms. It's kind of like Shiva, but it's based on the idea of cereal, and cereal being natural and being part of the earth. So it's this, Gaia, fucking Shiva, fucking God of creation and destruction and love, and all at the same time, and, with a fucking straw in it. Then you know what I mean. So it's that's the way you do things then. You just utilize this earth. You just utilize it. You just utilize it for, church is there for you to go away from your life. Don't think about the guy who you think, because everybody's got a different person, and everyone's got a different kind of church. You can go to a coffee place, and the coffee place would be their, sanctuary or place to go. But I'm saying try church. The challenge of being somewhere, especially if you're not a church goer, try church. Because it will really, something, try church. It's if you really, really want to try something, you try church. That's what you do. And you try something that's hey, I'm going to this place, and it's called church. I don't even believe in church. And I'm just going to feel what I'm going to feel because I'm in this space. Do I hear what the guy has to say? Maybe not. Maybe my guy has headphones on. He's not listening. And he's just sitting across, existing. But just being in a place where everyone is like-minded to just exist and just stop what they were doing in their lives to take the time. I mean, then you become at this other level of just connectivity. Every idea, every thought, of every symbol, of every way, of every the fiber of all being, and you know, in time and space and all that great shit. And it's in that because we're all on that, in that spot, in that location. And if you do it the right way, as far as like you're just feeling good about being alive and seeing your brothers and sisters and friends and having the thoughts and having all these things, and then it's nothing to do, nothing to fucking ever do with, you know, church or anything like it, or religion or whatever. There's nothing to do with it. It has to do with you and your time and how you spend it and the spaces in which you spend it. You live only in the now. You do a thing once, then you do it all the time, and then you're used to doing it, and then it increases. The weight of it increases on yourself is like I guess you would say like this property of this fucking thing, and it creates itself. It is itself. It is this thing. Now, my whole point of all of this is that the fucking the people that are doing all these things and all the stuff that's happening, everything, is all part of this life. It's all part of how you distribute time and space, and what you mean to each other and what we mean to one another. And that's it. And if it's not real, then you just have to try again. You only keep trying until you're enlightened. And people could be enlightened and still be allowed to be here physically, because it's the perception of it.